Did you know that Microsoft Word can generate QR codes? It's true. And in this video, I'm going to go into way more detail than probably you really want, but I'm kind of recording it as much for my own record keeping as for anything else, but I thought you might find it somewhat interesting. So first off, to generate a QR code in Word, the first thing you're going to need to do is have the function key on your keyboard illuminated. There's a little dot there that illuminates when you push it. It tells you the function key is activated. Once that's the case, you go Control F9, which says Home on my keyboard, and it creates what's called a field. Within that field, you can type display barcode, all one word, and actually the capitalization doesn't matter. And then in quotations, you can type whatever you want to make a QR code of, such as that, which is my employer. And then you need to type QR if you want it to, capital Q, capital R, if you want it to appear as a QR code. Now, of course, you're looking at this, you're going, well, that just says what you wrote. But if you right-click on this, right-click on this, an option called Toggle Field Code comes in, and there you go. That's all it takes to create a QR code in Microsoft Word, or at least Microsoft 365 as it's implemented by my employer. You can go back and edit this too by toggling the field codes. You might notice that when I, Control C there. Oops, all right, that didn't work. You might notice that when I toggle the field codes here, it comes out a specific size. That actually can be changed inside of the field that you generated by adding what are called switches. And the switches always start with a backslash and a letter. In this case, I want to scale it either down or up. I'm going to scale it down just a little bit by using /s. And then the number you put after it is the percentage scaling. So if I go 60 like that, so /s60, now when I toggle the field codes, it's smaller than it was. It's 60% of the size it was. So it's kind of nice. You can go in and make that change. There are other changes you could do. For instance, it might be nice to change the little black pixels here to a different color and the white pixels behind them as well. You might notice there's like a white border here. See that little thing there? To a different color. And you can do that as well. It's a little bit tricky, but if you look online, you actually will find that all of these, they're called switches, the /s one I've already demonstrated to you. There's a whole bunch here. Now, one thing I want to point out, the /h one does not work with a QR code. And the reason is because it only is set to adjust the height of a code. And since it's recognized by Word that a QR code is two-dimensional, then it's just ignored basically when you put the /h in there. The /s does work because it gives you percentage of the basic one. Now, I will point out the size of this, if I go to Toggle Field Code, that size is actually determined directly by the number of characters in here. In fact, I don't know if you know this or not, but you can put as many forward slashes after a URL as you like, and it has no effect on its functionality. But you see, by putting all of these in here now, when I toggle it, even at the same ratio, this is actually larger than it was before. I guess I should prove that to you. Let me do it this way. Let me put another field in. Home there. Wait, home. Control F9. All right, type in display code, display barcode, www.ransom.org. Close that, QR, /s. What did I do, 60% last time? I don't remember. I'm just going to hit toggle that one as well. That's right-click, toggle. Yeah, so this one is a 60% one with all these extra symbols in it. And this one is also 60%, but it doesn't have all those extra symbols in there. So you can see just by adding extra slashes at the end, it makes it physically larger. So yeah, the size is really related to the amount of text. I'm just going to delete this in inside of those quotation marks. So unfortunately, the /s is just scaling it from the default size. It's not actually making it the same size as something else, because something else might have a different number of characters in here. And that comes up more later. I know you don't really care about that right now, but either of those could have been altered and changed the apparent size of this QR code. Another thing sometimes you might want to do is change the colors of these little black pixels and white pixels in here. For when it's like this, that's actually a little bit tricky. So let me give you an example. At our institution, they ask that most things be either in this color or this color when you are, I'm sorry, make sure I want to use that. Anyway, this color when you're distributing them. So the RE, Ransom Everglades green, is RGB values 0, 103, and 71, or, which will become important in a moment, the hexadecimal values 00 red, 67, see red was 0, RGB, red, green, blue, 0, 0. So the first two digits are in hexadecimal format, 0. The next two are 67 is hexadecimal for 103, and 47 is for 71. So the hexadecimal number here is what we need to focus on, 00, 67, 47. So let me show you this. You can right-click on this, go to toggle field codes again, and another switch is \F, which is the color of what is currently the little black pixels in there. And if I type in, what was it again? Let me look at this. It says 006747. So to put that in here, you have to use the code 0x to tell it's a hexadecimal number, and 006747. You can also do the background with \B, and let's do the background as this blue here. See that color there, and that's 9BCBEB. So let me go 0x 9BCBEB. Now, if I right-click this and I toggle the field, whoa, that is not a blue background. And the reason is, for reasons that are probably lost in antiquity, in Microsoft products, both Excel and in Word, RGB is not red, then green, then blue. It's the same numbers, but you have to put the blue number first and the green and then the red. So in this code, to get it to be right, we actually have to go in and change these numbers around. Remember I said the first two digits were supposed to be red and then green and then blue. So to get this color right, I need to put the 47 first and the 00 last. And this one, I need to put the, oh, that didn't even take the 09 on that one. Wait, was it 9BCBEB? Let me double check. 9BCBEB, okay. Let me go back into here. So the EB has to come where the 9B is, EB, and the 9B needs to go where the EB was. By swapping those around, now, if I toggle the field codes, it comes out, well, oh, wait, that still didn't do the blue right. What did I do? Oh, I see what I did. 476707. Put another 7 in there. That's silly. All right, let's go back and toggle the field codes. And there we go. Those are the proper colors. So just a weird thing, if you want to change the foreground /F and background /B colors of those, they have to be 0x hexadecimal form, and you have to swap the hexadecimal values for the last two digits and the first two digits to get it to come out correctly. Just a little quirk of Microsoft Word. Now, realistically, what I want to do, what you might want to do, is I have this Excel spreadsheet. Oops, click the wrong thing. I don't know what's going to happen there. Let me try that again. I actually have this Microsoft Excel page that has quite a few URLs here that I would like to turn into little QR codes so somebody can just click on them and go directly to the site rather than having to type all of this in. And the beauty, and again, don't worry about what all this stuff is over here. I'm going to get to it. But the beauty of Word is that, let's go File, New, is that it has Mail Merge. And Mail Merge can pull stuff in from a spreadsheet and activate it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Mailings here to make all of these QR codes kind of at once. Start a Mail Merge. In this case, I'm going to choose Labels, and I'll show you why in a second. As it turns out, the Avery US letter 22805 labels will create a table on this page that is filled with 1.5 by 1.5 squares, and then we can import each QR code into one of those squares. You'll see here in a second. Let me click OK. So yeah, we'll import the first value of this column as a QR code into this first square, and then the second square, and third one, the third square, so forth. And you can even go in and pick and choose which ones you want to use. By the way, one thing I want to mention before we go any further, I actually need to close my Excel spreadsheet for the Mail Merge to function. Mail Merge will lock up if you try having the spreadsheet open while you're trying to Mail Merge. The second thing, though, I want to say before I close it is I want to point out the data I wish to merge is on a sheet called for QR codes. I literally made up this other sheet just as a distractor, so you could see that you do have to make sure you know what the name of the sheet is down here at the bottom that contains the information you want to encode. And also, you need to know the name of the column in which those values exist. So base URLs with URL being capitalized there. This is the column on that sheet in this Excel spreadsheet, Robot Parts Resources, that I want to import into Word. So you need to know all of that. You need to know what this is, what the name of the file is, where it is. You need to know which tab, and you need to know which column title you want to convert. Those things are important, but it has to be closed while you do this, which is a little frustrating. Anyway, here's how it works. You, again, make sure the function key is highlighted on your keyboard. You push Control F9 again to create a field. This time, instead of display codes, we're going to put merge, M-E-R-G-E, barcodes. And again, I don't think the capitalization matters. Now, this part's a little interesting. What you want to do, I almost forgot, I have to do another step first. Let's go to Select Recipients. I have to select that specific spreadsheet to move forward. And so I happen to know that spreadsheet is here. I'm going to open that. So that tells you, and what's cool is, once you select the spreadsheet that you're going to merge, it's going to have each tab listed here. So make sure you've selected the tab that has the values you want it. If you remember, it was 4 QR codes was the name of it. So you say OK to that. Now, this created an error because I started writing it before I probably should have. So, but all you have to do is, to recover that is you get into toggle field codes. Oops, right click. Oh, what's all of this stuff that's popped? Toggle field codes. There we go. So merge barcodes. Okay. Next, you need to type in quotations, the exact text that is in the column on the Excel page that you want to do. Fortunately, since you've already selected that page when you did the select recipients, when we used the list, then you can actually go over here and search merge field, and it shows you the titles of each of the columns, like the headings of each of the columns, in that sheet of that spreadsheet. And so I can see base URLs, lowercase, then URL is uppercase, is in there. So I can click cancel there. And in this quotation marks, I type in BASE URLS and then close those. So that will merge from that spreadsheet on that tab the column of values that starts with base URLs. In fact, when you look at insert merge, when you look at select recipients, and when you went to use the existing list, one of the things you might have noticed when I selected it, I should have pointed this out before, when you select it, wait, where is it now? Oh, there it is right there. What you'll notice is that, oh, it's not there. Wait, is it there? What was I going to point out? Oh, yes, right here. First row of data contains column headers. Notice that is checked. If that wasn't checked, then you wouldn't be able to use the column headers because they wouldn't be recognized as column headers. So if you put the column headers in and you have this checked, then it's very easy to figure out exactly which column you want from that page. So make sure that is checked, although it's checked by default. But yeah, what that did, again, this is still giving me an error because I haven't finished this, is that allows me to see the names of the column headers here. If I didn't say that, this would not come up. So this gives me the ability to actually see the exact text that's in that column header there to here. All right, so anyway, keep going. We do want it to import as QR codes. So if you just did this, that's all you're doing, and you click outside of that, merge barcodes, base URLs, QR. Let's see, something's wrong here. What is wrong here? Let me try toggling the field codes. Oh, maybe I do have, maybe it's barcode, not barcodes. That's why. Now you see preview label results. So make sure you type merge barcode, not merge barcodes. It's merge barcode. Now when you click, this becomes active. It's not grayed out anymore. I click this and it actually shows me the same QR code to match what I had already. Now you can go back to toggling. You can use the same switch in here. So you could do /S and go, I don't know, 60%. And if I preview those results, or you have to click that twice, it's smaller. But it's the same one as before. You scan this, it will take you to the first URL that was in that column. By the way, if you're not sure what that was, 2 ways you can see what it was. If you don't want to print it, you can go to edit recipient list, and it actually shows you right here that under the, wait, let me move across here. Under the base URLs code, the first one is www.ransomoverlays.org. So if you were to scan this, it'll take you to the ransom landing page. So that, you scan this with your phone, follow the link, it takes you to here. Okay, but I only got one here. What if I want a bunch? I click update labels, and it does all of them. This one is actually different than this one. If you look in this little area right where my cursor is moving around, on the left side, just underneath this weird little box. And do the same thing here. You see that one's different, and that one's different. And in fact, actually, if you come down here, you can see this one's tiny, and this one's large. A small one here, a big one here. And the reason for that is because a longer entry will produce a bigger code. Cool. You know what would be useful here, though, is actually if I had up above this the actual URL this went to. Well, this is great because all I have to do is I can go into, well, make sure my cursor is before it here, to that side of it. I can insert a merge field and actually choose the same one. Let me click preview results twice. And now you see it gives me the text of this one. If I do update labels, it does all of them. So it tells you what this is saying in QR language in our regular text format. I don't like how big this is. It's spilling over everywhere. So I'm going to go back to the first one. I'm going to highlight it, and no, this just pops up, and now I can start making it smaller. I think that's a good size there. Now if I update all the labels and I click preview results twice, now I get, it says which one it is. So you can see kitbots.com is small and fingertechrobotics.com is large. Now I want to show you something super cool. You don't have to go through that whole weirdness of typing in the colors thing here if you want to have the QR code use different colors. The trick is you can right click on it only when it's, by the way, I'm sorry, let me point this out. Only when the field code is merge barcode can you do this. It does not work for that prior file where I have this one that was display barcode. You can't do what I'm about to do now. Let me show you. I'll do this real quick. Let me toggle back. If I right click on this, these are my only options. Edit field, toggle field, and then some paste stuff and that kind of thing, some stuff up here. I mean, you could change text, but there's no text there. But if you do the merge barcodes when you're pulling from a spreadsheet, you can right click this thing and now you have a new entry, edit barcode. And what's glorious about this is I can go advanced and look, foreground, background. This is your /F, this is your /B from the prior way of doing this. If I click the down arrow, more colors, and click custom, now it has red, green, blue. It's not the blue, green, red stuff before. So I can go back into here and see red is 0, green is 103, blue is 71. So my foreground 0, 103, 71. Foreground 0, 103, 71. Red, green, blue. That's the right green. I can say OK. And that green is correct. Now I can change the background if I want to. More colors, custom. Here's the RGB value for white, which is what's there right now. But what I want it to be is 155, 203, 235. Let's see if I can remember that. 155, 203, 235. 155, 203, 205. That's that blue I was looking for. I say OK. I say OK again. There's the beautiful preview. I say OK. It's, wait, oh, maybe I typed the number in wrong. Let's edit that barcode again. Let's go to advanced. Let's go to background, more colors. That looks right. 105, 203, 205. 155, 203, 235. That's why I did not successfully remember that was 235. All right, I say OK now. I say OK again. I say OK again. Now, yeah, that looks like those ransom colors I'm so proud of. Now I can click Update Labels. They all update. I've changed the color. I've changed the scaling. I've added in the text. And I did it fairly simply. Now, one last thing. You know, it bothers me that this is a different size than this. Fixing that is not easy. I actually Googled this a bit, and I put how to set the height of display barcode, which also works for merge barcode in this particular case. And this person said, it just doesn't work. When I do the /H, it just ignores it. But the barcodes are different sizes, blah, blah, blah. The only answer that works is something called padding. This is kind of a pain So I'm going to illustrate to you how to do padding of a URL to force the QR codes to be the same size, because the number of characters in the URL will be the same. Unfortunately, to do this, I do have to go in and make some changes in the spreadsheet. Okay, so remember, I can't have the spreadsheet open the same time as the mail merge is open. So I'm just going to quickly save this. Do I have a name for it yet? I do not have a name for it. So let me go File, Save As. Here, is that going to work? I got to pull something together. Save As, Save As, Save As. There we go. And I'm going to name it Mail Merge URLs as QR codes. And I'll save that real quick. And that allows me to close it so that I can go into the spreadsheet. So let me go back to my spreadsheet. It's this one right here. And I'll show you, I've actually already done the work for this. So I'll open it up and I'll show you what I've done. So here are the URLs that I had. Oops, didn't mean to do that. I actually clicked it and went somewhere. Here are the URLs I have all in this column, right? Now I use the Excel or spreadsheet command len, which tells me, it actually counts the number of characters here. Oh, I keep doing that. That's hilarious. So there are 24 characters in this one. There are 25 in that one. And 26. I just wrote this, the length of, come on now, the length of F2, and then I got on this corner here and I double clicked it and it copied it down. Then I went over here and I made a column called max to find what's the biggest one in that column. So that, by the way, is, if you're not familiar with spreadsheets, equals to max of that range, and it returns, there are 35 characters there, okay? So I could, if I wanted to, actually find out what the smallest number of characters are in there by doing the same thing here. Len, length. Oh, no, wait, I want the min. The minimum of these length values. And granted, you could do this by eye with a short list like this, but I'm just not. So 20 is the minimum, 35 is the longest. I would like the length of every entry that I'm putting in the mail merge to be converted to QR codes to be 35 characters long. But I have some, or at least one, that's only 20 characters long. So there's literally 15 characters I would like to add to the short one, and other numbers for different ones. So here's what I've done here. I've created a column here that I literally titled, you have to put a little single quotation there for it to come in as literal text. And I put in, well, the difference between 15 and 20, 35 and 20 is 15. So I put somewhere more than 15 slashes in. You put as many slashes you want in here as you want, really, but I'm going to go ahead and put a whole bunch of slashes in that column, right? Oh, let me explain why it's slashes. Because you can take any URL and add as many slashes as you want to after it, and it will still function as a URL. It just ignores those trailing slashes. This is called padding. I'm adding those slashes to pad out the URL number of characters so that they all will have the same number of characters. Then what I did next, and this is again a little sleight of hand in the spreadsheet, I said, give me only the left characters of this cell. Notice I put dollar signs in there so I can copy it down. That equal to give me the number of characters. That's what the second part is, num chars, which is the maximum minus the number this particular one has. So the difference between 35 and 24 is what H2 minus G2 calculates. And that's the number of slashes from the left side of this entry it's going to put into this cell. And if you look right here, I don't know how hard that is to see. Maybe it's the R. And then I did this. I clicked this and copied it down, all the columns. But you'll see right here, this one's 33 characters long. To get to 35, I need 2 slashes. This one's 32 characters long. I need 3 slashes. So this created the text that I need to concatenate, is a fancy word, but to append, oops, I keep doing that. It's hilarious. I need to append to the end of each of these to make them all be this size. So all I did over here was, and you can see that proves that the slashes don't make any difference. All I did here was I just said concatenate. That's the word they use, meaning connect two things together. What was in this column with what was in this column. F2 gets concatenated with I2, and so this has all of this added to the end of it. And then if you copy that down, it does it for everything. This is the longest one. It already had one slash on the end of it, so it didn't need any additional slashes to reach 35. So, what was all that about? Well, that was about making all of these have the same number of characters. Now, I called this QR codes at the top of this column, and that's important. So it's on the same spreadsheet, on the same sheet, but in a different column. QR codes with only the first letter capitalized. That's really the field I want to get converted to QR code. So if I go back into my spreadsheet, no, I have to open it back up. That's right, I had to close it. So I'm going to go to File, QR codes in Word. That's what I called it. Nope, that's not what I called it. I called it using Word to convert URLs. There we go. Nope, it's not that one either. I've forgotten what I called it. Using Word to convert URL. Mail merge. That's it. Mail merge URLs is QR codes. Let me just say yes. You can connect to that spreadsheet. Oh, it worked. Okay, I'm going to quickly close this in case I run into problems. Okay, so now if I look at the field code here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this base URLs. I'm going to change that to instead be, what was the name of it again? Let me go to mailings. Let me go merge field. Click down arrow. It's called QR codes, like that. Okay, so that field right there, I want to be capital Q, R, C, O, D, E, S, close quotes. That's the one I want to change. Oh, by the way, notice when I went to edit this, it has all this information here about the colors. I didn't have to do that, remember, because I just right-clicked on it and changed them, and it automatically does the reversal trick for me. So all I'm changing is which field I'm going to be converting. Let me click the preview results twice, and this is this size. Now if I do update labels, because it's pulling from a column with everything the same number of characters, boom, all of my QR codes are the same size. Now that QR code literally is encoding this plus a bunch of slashes, and this plus a wait, they all say Ransom Everglades. Hold on. Let me toggle field codes again. QR codes. Let me click update labels again. Why is it doing that? Oh no. Toggle field codes. QR. Oh, you know what? I think it's QR code. No, it's codes. Oh no. I've gone through all of this and then it's. Well, let me try this and this. It should give me errors. It did not. Oh, this one gave me an error. Okay. Toggle the field codes. QR codes. Update labels. Oh no, this worked every time I did it before. All right, well, let's just try this. I'm going to backspace through here. I'm going to try inserting that one there. It gave me an error, that's fine. Toggle field codes. I know it's doing that. Okay. It should work. Oh my gosh. Control Z. Control Z, 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 Z. I clicked that too many times. There we go. Backspace. QR code. Quotations. QR codes. Quotations. Try toggling. I am genuinely confused. Merge barcode, QR codes, QR. I'm going to look at the recipient list. Something happened. Okay, let's try this. Let's go back to start the mail merge. No, select recipients. Use an existing list. Maybe this is why, because it was open. Remember I did it with it open? I bet that's why this went wrong. Let me reconnect it to that page. I'm going to use that column. Okay. Ooh, that's a first. I bet this happened because I had it open when I went in to do this. This is very sad to me because I worked hard on this video and I know what I'm doing, but I made a small error. What I want, okay. See what happens. I'll click OK here. Nope. Cancel. Start from the beginning. do that. Okay. Okay. Recipients, existing list. I'm just going to double check. I think this is what happened. It delinked the two. And so I'm going to relink them. This might happen to you when you're doing this. So it gives you the opportunity to. That's right. Okay. I don't know why it's doing this to me. All right, here's what I'm going to attempt. I'm going to close it without saving it. I'm going to try reopening it now that that's closed. I'm going to say yes. Right click on this and toggle the field codes. I'm going to change this from base URLs to QR codes. Is it codes with an S? Yes, it is with an S. Toggle it back. All right, that's working. Now let me click update labels. There we go. Now this one is actually McMaster-Carr. And you see this is different here than this one is. In that little area right where my cursor is moving around, you see that's a little bit different than that. So these are each unique. I could take my phone and scan it, but I am utterly confident. Now, they're all the same size because they have the same number of characters, because I'm pulling from that column where they were all the same size. They're all blue and green, which is great. I have the name of it above it in a smaller font. They're all on one page. So it all works nicely. Sorry I had that little bit of a flub. It literally was because I made that mistake. By the way, one other little thing you can do is you can actually change the first one here to be the second one or the third one or the fourth one, like that. So if you want to change where you start, you can do that. Another thing you can do is you get edit recipient list. You could literally choose to use none of them. Ah, what a mess. Or you can go edit recipient list, choose all of them, or you could choose to skip some. So right now, let's look at this one. This is Ransom Everglades. The second one was McMaster-Carr. I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to say OK. And now you see, wait, let me go back to number one. All right, so that number one is Ransom Everglades, then Palm Beach Bots. So it skipped the McMaster-Carr and went straight to Palm Beach Bots. So you can actually choose to add or remove. You do have to click the preview twice to get it to work. Oh, wait, it's not. Oh, that's because I'm 2. Back up to 1. Yeah. So your preview, you can have it. You can actually choose to eliminate, omit certain entries from your spreadsheet by turning the check boxes on or off. Just another thing you can do. So I think that literally is more than anybody would want to know. I have it for me. You have it for you. Thank you for watching. Oh, be sure to save your work, as always. Thanks a lot. Take care.